Hi everyone, it's Kara here from Boho Berry, and I am here today with a brand new Plan With Me video. And as I do every month, I wanted to kind of do a little flip through of what's been going on in my bullet journal during the past month. So we're going to go through April a little bit. I'll show you kind of what I've been up to in my bullet journal, and then we'll do a full-on Plan With Me at the end. So just to start, this was my April monthly spread. So I had my log. This is just where I wrote down little tidbits about what happened throughout the day. I had my tasks and goals for the month, which I'm going to be changing up a little bit for the month of May. So I'll show you how I'm doing that because I'm incorporating the GTD, or getting things done method, into my bullet journal. If you don't know what that is, definitely check out my last video. That's where I talk all about how I'm incorporating GTD into my notebook. So that's going to change a little bit due to that. Then I have my challenge prompts. I've got the Plan With Me challenge and the Rock Your Handwriting challenge. I've got my April memories, and I was trying out some new lettering that I learned from Cindy over at Llama Loves Letters. I'll link to her in the show notes below. She has some great tutorials on different lettering styles. So I thought I'd try to switch it up because I always use these block letters and my kind of faux calligraphy, but I wanted to switch it up. I wanted a little bit more variety this month, so I tried that out and I did some tall lettering and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend her for lettering. She's absolutely amazing. I've got my April tracker, which as you can see is filled out up until the date of filming this. I have my gratitude log, which I absolutely adore. And then I just started in on my dailies. This was my first weekly spread for the month of April. This was a cute little spread I did. It was actually a response to one of the Rock Your Handwriting challenge prompts, was ways to feel balanced. So I took some, I guess you could call it sketch notes, even though I didn't sketch a lot. So I took some notes from one of my favorite blogs about ways to feel balanced. So I really love that spread. I like referring back to it. Got more daily pages. This was another Rock Your Handwriting prompt. It was called Tips on Life. So I just wrote out 5 of my tips on life. And then this is the Boho Berry Action Challenge, which if you've been following me along on the blog or on Periscope, you know all about that. I challenged my readers and followers to take action this month. So I challenged everyone to pick 3 goals that they've been procrastinating on and create a very simple next action step that they could take during the month of April. It's been so cool to see everybody sharing their goals and action steps on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all over the place. Everyone's been using the hashtag #BBActionChallenge to share their progress, and I just love it. So if you're not already participating, I mean, we're wrapping it up this month, but I just wanted April to be a month of action for everyone. But if you want to check out other people's goals and progress, definitely check out that hashtag on whatever social media you prefer, and you're sure to find it on there. I've got more daily pages here, another weekly spread. This is when I went to Atlanta. Got more daily pages. This was a Plan With Me challenge prompt that was really fun. It was a planner story, so I kind of journaled in the story of how I got started planning and with my bullet journal and what it means to me, which I really liked. Then I did a little bit of journaling. I don't normally journal a whole lot in my bullet journal itself, but I decided I wanted to do some journaling to kind of commemorate the weekend that I had in Atlanta, which was absolutely incredible. So I did some journaling straight into my bullet journal because it was just that special of a weekend to me. And then I have another weekly spread. This is for this past week right here. So you'll see I have some open tasks that I have not migrated yet. This is still our current week. This is a new spread that I created. It's called 35 Acts of Kindness Before 35. And I'm actually going to be turning 35 next year. So I had this idea. I wanted to do a 35 before 35. Well, when I got to thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do things for me. I want to do things for other people. So I created this list of 35 acts of kindness before 35. So that's going to be a really fun list to work through. I can't wait to get started on it. And then this is my spread for Whole30. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know that I started a Whole30 challenge on Saturday. This is my second round of the Whole30. I did one back in September of last year, but I wanted to create a new spread in this new bullet journal to kind of guide me through it, remind me what I can and cannot eat. And then I have this little diagram taken directly from the Whole30 site for what a balanced plate looks like. So this is just to kind of help guide me along the way. And then I have a food log here. This is where I log all of my meals with the Whole30. And then this I actually still need to fill out. I have it written on a little post-it note, but my starting measurements and weight for the Whole30, because I always like to track my progress. Part of the Whole30 is that you're supposed to ditch the scale, not worry about how much you weigh, and just get through the program. So I do my starting measurements and weight. That way at the end of the 30 days I can compare and see how well I did. This was just a little doodle that I did, and at first I was not really happy with it. I wasn't happy with how squiggly my lines were, and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. And then I just decided to just go for it anyway. So I wrote in here, misshaped lines and non-perfect circles can set you free. And I kept going with it and kept going with it, even though I wasn't really happy with how it was turning out. And when I got done with it, I realized that I actually really like it. So just a little inspiration to everyone that even if things aren't going exactly as planned, sometimes if you keep going and stay the course, it can turn out a lot better than you expected. So we've got more daily pages here. And then this was, you've seen this in my past video about GTD. It's my checklist for my weekly review. So these are the actions I take at the end of every week to kind of review where I'm at as a whole with all of my projects and actions and things along those lines. And then my current weekly spread. And this is a little post-it note to remind me everything that I want to put into my bullet journal for May. And then here I wrote in a little quote that I really loved. And then as a part of my weekly review, I decided to make an actual list of my next actions. So I have all of my next actions for the entire week here. These are next actions based on my current projects. So for each of these current projects, I have the very next simplest step that needs to be done towards those projects. And then I have my daily page for today telling me what I need to work on today to get me towards my bigger projects. So at the beginning of every week, I'm going to have a page sort of like this. It might evolve and grow into something different, but it's going to be my next actions for the whole week. So each week when I'm going through here, I'll refer back to this page and see what my next steps are. Once one of these are completed, I'll brainstorm what the next step is in that same project, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to leave some blank pages here, enough to fill in the rest of the month. And then we are going to start May on page 198. All right, so that is it. May is all set up. So I'm going to walk you through what I did here. It's pretty similar to last month, just a couple of differences. The main one is this page right here, and you'll notice that last month I had it separated into tasks and goals. And while I liked that, once I got kind of into the GTD method, I realized that my tasks weren't really tasks. They were more like projects. So I'm gonna list my projects. Like once I get to the end of the month, I'll do a monthly review and I'll list out my current projects that I'm still working on and my upcoming projects. So this is just gonna be a current list of the immediate projects that I'm working on for the month. My log is going to stay the same. That's just going to be where I log little events that happen throughout the day. I'm going to print off the Plan With Me challenge prompts and paste those in here. Rock Your Handwriting, these prompts will not be released until Wednesday, so I'll write these down in here when we release them. I'm going to have my May Memories page and then my May tracker. Now with the tracker, I did create, every month I create a new printable for the tracker for anyone who would like to download it. You do have to be a member of the Boho Berry tribe in order to download it. That's my email list. But once you join the email list, you actually get access to all of my free printables. So this is the one for May, and this one printed a little funky. I'm not exactly sure why, but I promise you that it has 31 days on it. So yeah, I'll have that printable version of the May tracker, and the quote I chose for this month is by O.H. Maurer, I'm not sure how to say that really, but he says, "It is easier to act yourself into a better way of feeling than to feel yourself into a better way of action." So I really liked that. I liked the idea of continuing to take action in the month of May. And then I have my gratitude log, and I kept it simple again. I just list 2 items that I'm grateful for every single day, and that is it. After that, I will move straight into my first weekly spread and my daily pages. So I hope you enjoyed planning along with me today. And if you have any questions, comments, anything of that sort, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I love joining in the conversations down there. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you can get notified every time I post a new video, and I will look forward to seeing you all on Friday. Bye!